Welcome back. We are on the topic rates. In the previous video, we learned some basic things about rates. In this video, we are going to learn how to use a rate to find one quantity when there's a change in the other. The question for this video is, if 5 meters of a pipe cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos, calculate A, the cost of 10 meters of the pipe, B, the cost of 2 meters of the pipe, and C, the length of pipe Kofi and Ama bought if they paid 5 Ghana cedis and 2 Ghana cedis respectively. So 5 meters of a pipe cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos. Knowing this, the question wants us to find the cost of 10 meters of the pipe and the cost of 2 meters of the pipe and the length of pipe Kofi and Ama bought if they paid 5 Ghana cedis and 2 Ghana cedis respectively. We will solve the first and second part of the question in this video, and we will solve the last part in the next video. Let's begin with the first part. We are going to find the cost of 10 meters of the pipe. From the question, we know that 5 meters of the pipe cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos. So that is the rate. 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos. Now, the length has changed from 5 meters to 10 meters. If the length changes from 5 meters to 10 meters, then what will be the new cost? So the rate is 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos. The length has changed from 5 meters to 10 meters. So what will be the new cost? Using this rate, we are going to find the new cost when there's the change in the length. In order to use a rate to find one quantity when there's a change in the other, we use two simple principles. The first one is if more, less divide. And the second one is if less, more divide. We are going to use these principles throughout our studies in rates. So please pay attention to them. The first one is if more, less divide. And the second one is if less, more divide. How do we apply these two principles? Let's come back to our question. We know that the rate is 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos. Now, we want to find the cost of 10 meters. So this time we are changing the length. We want to find the new cost. Now you ask yourself, if 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos, then 10 meters, will it cost more or less than 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos? I'll go over it again. The rate is 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos. The new length is 10 meters. So you ask yourself, if 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos, then 10 meters, will it cost more or less than 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos? So you think about that. 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos. 10 meters, will it cost more or less? You can clearly see that if 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos, then 10 meters will cost more than 3 Ghana cedis 50 pesos. It means that we are going to use the first principle. The first principle is for more, and the second principle is for less. So if 10 meters will cost more, then we will use the first principle. The first principle is if more, less divide. Now that we have established that 10 meters will cost more, less will divide. So among these two lengths, we are going to form a fraction, and the lesser one or the smaller one will divide. So you have 10 meters divided by 5 meters. The principle says that if more, less divide. We have established that it will be more. If it is more, then less will divide. So we will use these two to form a fraction, and the lesser one will divide. That is, the lesser one will become the denominator, and the bigger one will be the numerator. So you have 10 meters divided by 5 meters, since 5 meters is smaller than 10 meters. After that, we will multiply it by the cost. So you have 10 meters divided by 5 meters times the cost. Now you can see from here that we change the length. So we are going to use the length to form the fraction and multiply it by the cost. If we had changed the cost, we would have used the cost to form the fraction and multiply it by the length. Because here we change the length, we will use the length to form the fraction, and then we will multiply it by the cost. We will have 10 meters divided by 5 meters times 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. So the cost of 10 meters of the pipe will be equal to 10 meters divided by 5 meters times 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. So meters and meters will cancel out, and we will have 10 divided by 5 times 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. 10 divided by 5 will give us 2. 2 times 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos will give us 7 Ghana cedis. So the cost of 10 meters of the pipe, or 10 meters of the pipe, will cost 7 Ghana cedis. Let's look at the second part of the question. We are going to find the cost of 2 meters of the pipe. From the question, we know that the rate is 5 meters of the pipe cost 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. So 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. We want to find the cost of 2 meters. 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. Now we have changed the length from 5 meters to 2 meters. So the cost is also going to change. We want to find the mean cost. We bring back our two principles. The first one is if more, less divide. And the second one is if less, more divide. Now think about it. 5 meters cost 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. We have reduced the length from 5 meters to 2 meters. So will the cost be more or less than 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos? When it was 5 meters, the cost was 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. The length has changed to 2 meters. Will it be more or less than 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos? We can see that it will be less. If it is less, we are going to apply the second principle. The second principle is for less, and it says that if less, then more will divide. So among these two lengths, that is 5 meters and 2 meters, more will divide. That means that the bigger one will be the denominator and the smaller one will be the numerator. So you will form a fraction with these two lengths, and the bigger one will be the denominator because more is dividing, and the smaller one will be the numerator. So you have 2 meters divided by 5 meters, since 5 meters is bigger than 2 meters. After that, we will multiply it by the cost. So we have 2 meters divided by 5 meters times 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. Once again, we are using the lengths to form the fraction because it was the length that changed. If it had been the cost that changed, we would have used the cost to form the fraction and then multiply it by the length. Here is the length that changed, so you use the length to form the fraction and multiply it by the cost. We have 2 meters divided by 5 meters times 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. This means that the cost of 2 meters of the pipe is 2 meters divided by 5 meters times 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. So meters will cancel meters, and that will give us 2 divided by 5 times 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. 2 divided by 5 times 3 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos will give us 1 Ghana cedi, 40 pesos. This means that 2 meters of the pipe will cost 1 Ghana cedi, 40 pesos. The last part of our question says that we should find the length of pipe Kofi and Ama bought if they paid 5 Ghana cedis and 2 Ghana cedis respectively. We are going to solve that in the next video. So see you in the next video and let's continue solving the question. Bye bye.